So, finally, I had another lucid dream. So I'm making good progress. This dream it took place in what I think is a mall. And it was weird as hell. It didn't start out in a mall. It actually started out in a trailer park. And I was in this trailer park. And I was in this trailer. And it looked familiar to the one that I used to live in when I was younger for a few years. And the doors and the windows were all gated up, and I had the feeling like it was in a bad neighborhood. And I don't exactly remember what was going on inside there, but I do remember having a conversation with a few people in there, and I don't recognize their faces or anything. Just kind of talking about the old days or something, and I said, well, I'm gonna have to head to the mall because I have to get a few things. And they said, well, be careful because there was a lot of violence down there. And I said, well, I'll be fine. So I get in this what looked to be like an old 80s Suburban. It was gray. It looked like the paint was peeling off of it, a little bit rusty, and when I started it, it was hard starting, plus it would sound like it had a hole in the exhaust and all this other stuff. It just didn't sound all that great. And anyway, I drive that to the mall, and I start to walk into the mall, and that's when my lucidness kicked in. I said to myself, this must be a dream because I've never owned a Suburban. That's what started it. And I just kind of stopped dead in my tracks. And that's when the complete control of the dream started. And that's when I started doing my self-checks. I said to myself, is this a dream? Then I did a breathe check, and I started to breathe, and I said, this is a dream. And I remember thinking to myself at first, I said, well, I need to make sure that I'm okay in the waking world, so I'm going to wake myself up. And then before I did that, I said, no, I said, I'm fine, I'm in bed, I'm gonna take an active part and control this dream. So I literally was aware of where I was at in bed, aware of my breathing, and aware that if I continued on with this dream, I would have complete control over it. So I walked into the mall, and I kept saying to myself, this is a dream, I have control, I'm going to do what I want. And it was as clear, conscious as could be. It wasn't that I was dreaming, it was very clear, I knew that I was dreaming, and I was, I was aware. So I started walking through this mall, and all I wanted to do was explore. I wanted to know what was all in this dream. I wanted to know where my mind was taking it, how it was being built, things like that. So I started walking through this mall, and I saw what looked like a video game store. So I walked in. There was nobody in there. It was almost like the mall was deserted, but I walked in the store, and I said to myself, man, I could play all of these games or take them. and because it's a dream, it's not going to matter. But I didn't. I just thought to myself, okay, well, let's move on. So I just started walking through the store, and that's when I started seeing people. And I wanted to kind of experiment a little bit, so I walked up to this crowd of people, and I said to them, I said, you guys are not real at all. None of you. You may think you're real, but you're not. You are in my dream, and whatever. And I can remember one of the guys that was standing there, he looked like a punk rocker. He got really pissed off. He's like, this is real. You see all this? This is all real. And I said, dude, you are in my dream right now. None of this is real. None of you are real. You're all just figments of my imagination. I'm dreaming you right now. And he really got mad. And that was what was weird, is that I could sense his emotion towards me, that he was really upset that he wasn't real. And I just started walking some more, and I had a feeling like they were following me, and I turned around and I said, you know what? I said, you guys can just leave me alone, because at any time I can wake up and then you're not going to exist anymore, or I can find something to eliminate you from this dream. And he just kind of stood there and he said, like what? And I remember I thought to myself, well, what can I use to get rid of you guys that doesn't involve waking up? And I said, you know what? A firefighter hose would do just fine right now. And I looked down and there was one right there. And I picked it up and I said, this thing is going to knock all of you out. And I pulled back on the lever, water just started shooting out, and I could feel the pressure of the water. And I said, see, I can pretty much do whatever I want in this dream, because it's my dream. And at this point, even though that I'm conscious, I wanted to see just how weird things could get. I didn't want to make everything completely reality, where it was to the point where, you know, I was having a reality dream, but I wanted to see if I was capable of conjuring items and controlling things in more of a dream aspect, rather than, you know, I'm going to go find a gun and shoot you all or something like that. It was more of, where can we take this dream? And that's what I wanted to do. In my head, that's all I was thinking about. And I started to walk some more, and I just was kind of walking through this mall, and I said to myself several times, when am I going to wake myself up? Because I'm going to be walking aimlessly around this mall, which is empty. And I got rid of all the people that were in the store. Well, then it turned into something a little bit more weird, because I saw this girl who I had a fling with in college. I saw her in one of the clothing stores, and at that point I said to myself, okay, for some reason I'm thinking about this girl that I used to date or have a fling with in college. Why? You know, I wanted to know why. So I walked over to her, and she turned around and she saw me. And she says, oh, it's you. And I said, look, I said, you're not real at all, and I'm dreaming you right now. And I don't know why I'm dreaming you, but I want to find out why I'm dreaming you. And she says, "Oh yeah, I'm always in your dreams." And I said, "No, you better take this serious because you really are just a dream. Right now I'm laying in bed and I'm fully aware that I'm dreaming right now, and this is just a dream, and when I wake up you're going to disappear." And she says, "Okay, well, I guess you're just dreaming me, so what do you want to do?" And I said to myself, I said, "Well," I said, "we parted on really bad terms, and I have a feeling that if I did see you in real life, you would never speak to me, you wouldn't talk to me, you wouldn't even let me give you a hug or anything, so let's find out how far this dream will take us, since we're in the dream world." And she says, "Well," she says, "do whatever you want, because I'm just a dream, right?"